a person. Spontaneous stream. Like, please. Ah, 2 people. Please like. Oh, tack för like. Thanks for the like. Okay. Okay. That's enough of that. Yo, guys, I see you're a couple here. Let me put in the earphones for even more optimal sound. Good morning, guys, or good evening, I would guess, to most of you watching right now. I woke up early, as I do, at 3:30, and yeah, I didn't have the training and fasting Q&A or whatever Q&A, really. This weekend because I was away this weekend. So I figured maybe if some of you guys are up and want to chat a bit about whatever really, I'm here. That's a beautiful thing with my circadian rhythm. I go up so early that I can have client calls with clients on the other side of the sea. In my morning, it's most of the time people who work, from Europe, with someone in the States, for instance, have to do it in my evening and their morning. But I go up so early that I can do stuff when you guys are still awake. So I would really like it if you guys that are here would help out and ask some questions in the chat, because I now, of course, I try to, when I have the regularly scheduled stream, I try to get in some questions before, so I have something to go off of as I start the stream. But since this is very spontaneous, I woke up, a little over an hour ago, I guess. And now I'm just here. So I would really like it if you guys would ask some questions. But I can tell you about my weekend a little bit. I went to visit my friend Opti Holm, a guy that's very similar to me, but he is 7 years older, I guess. So think me, but 7 years more experience, basically. So I consider us like equals. We're friends. I'm not his client or anything, but he's just had more time to do these things. So he kind of drops more. He gives me more to think about than most people do, because he has been thinking about the same kinds of things I am thinking of, but just for a longer time. So I got there on Friday, the Friday's video I shot on my way over there. Guys, I see you're quite a few. Please like and ask something in the chat. Come on, guys. I recorded that video on my way there. Came there in the evening. Basically just went straight to bed. And on the Saturday, we were quite lucky because, it's becoming fall more and more. And it was cloudy, which doesn't necessarily have anything to do with a fall. But I know they often go up to. They live close to the coast, to the west coast in Sweden. So I often go to the sea for a morning swim in the morning sun. But if it's cloudy, there's no morning sun, right? Of course, it's still a good thing to do, and you will get some benefits from the sun, even when it's cloudy. But of course, it's both better and nicer if you can actually see the sun. So we were quite lucky, because almost the only time the sun was visible on that day was when we went to the sea to have a swim. So we did that. And then we had a cold shower. It's so funny to take the cold plunge in the sea and then have a cold shower. Because that's the only option at the place where they do that. the shower, you can't choose the temperature. So you start with a cold bath, and then you have the cold shower. Um, yeah, and then we went for this, like, we had decided that we're training everything, or we're doing stuff on B, like in Swedish. So some of them will work in English, but we went to the gym and we were there for like hours, many hours. We decided to train, so bröst, the chest, bröstrygg, thoracic back, bröstrygg, the back, the area on your back opposite to your chest. Biceps, of course. Bål, that's core. Legs, ben. Bite. Like we were biting stuff as we were doing push-ups. And the bath, cold bath, and sauna, that's bastu. And we're bros, having a bromance, So theme B it was. But yeah, we did that. We had a sauna. Or no, I guess we saved the sauna until later. We went and had this sushi buffet, which just, with guys like me and Opti, it just has to be a losing deal to have an all-you-can-eat sushi buffet. The goal was to eat one piece of sushi for every kilo body weight that we weigh, and we both weigh kind of 85 kilos. So, but then, yeah, I guess we went home, meditated for a bit, went to have the sauna, and then just had great talks for the rest of the day. And then the next day, he took me to this amazing gym. There's some guys that are really into, like, the kind of stuff that I'm into, like kind of a primal lifestyle, right? And they built this amazing gym in Halmstad, this city, smaller city in Stockholm. And it just right now, they have everything you'd want, infrared sauna. They have the clubs. The clubs that I have, they have like just every one of them, every size. They have the sauna. They have the cold bath, like the tank or whatever, so you can put it to like very, very low, 4 degrees. They have the meditation room. Yeah, they have just everything. Cryotherapy. One of those floating tanks. We didn't do those things, cryotherapy and floating tanks, but we were there and just played around. Like, we were in the gym for 6 hours, just doing mostly just fun stuff. We were dancing, we were swinging the clubs. I tried these things when you can hang upside down, gravity boots, I've always been wanting to do, like a pull-up or a lat pull-down, pull like that. But I always imagined, what if you were upside down and you had a weight hanging from your hands and you pull it up to you? So I called it the lat pull-up. Hey, you asked the question. Yeah, I was going to answer your question, Dean, and now you took it back. Well, I guess rephrase it then. I'm almost done with my stuff, and I was going to get to your question, and then you take it away. That's no good. I just saw you said something. But yeah, after this long ass session in the gym, I'm just dead, by the way. You might be able to tell. Like, of course, it's in the morning. I always have a little bit of a morning voice from that. But yeah, I'm just dead in the best way. Like, we just did everything. Yeah, we did the cold. I beat Opti in the cold bath. I got to beat him at something because he's just better at everything than I am. But we went in and out of the sauna to this 4 degrees Celsius cold bath. Yeah, we started with like sitting there for 1 minute, like fully immersed, then into the sauna, then 2 minutes fully immersed, and then into the sauna. And then he bailed out on the 3-minute sitting, but I did it. And then we went to meet some other people to do these, what do you say, like stair sprints. And also we like did buddy carries, like someone jumps up on my back and I carry them up halfway. Then we change, they carry me up. And I really wanted to bail out on that, really, but I of course can't. But yeah, that was it basically. Then the timing with everything was optimized. After this, we went right home, made food, and we ate, and then went to the train of perfect timing. Came home last night and went straight to bed. And now I'm here talking to you guys. So I see that there are some people coming and going. You would really help out, guys, if you like the stream and ask me something. Ask me something, please. This is called Q&A. It's not called the sit and watch the monologue and don't contribute at all. It's called the Q&A. It's for you to ask the question and me to answer. And everything I've said up until this point is to give you guys time to do that. And you have yet to do that. The one guy that did that removed his message. Yeah. Yeah, guys. Oh, yeah. Let's do it like that. Yeah. How are you guys doing? What's up? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, thanks for the like. But yeah, I don't know what to talk about now, really. I have so much material from this weekend. I'm gonna do fortunately, we had these amazing talks. Like, it's so cool, Like, it was the first time we met physically, me and Opti, but we've been getting to know each other on distance. But like all the talks we have, like, of course we goof around and joke some too, but like it's so cool, he meets me up by the train. Immediately we go into talking about very deep stuff, trauma, all that. And that's the kinds of talks I want to have. But yeah, so the weekend, it's just been high quality conversations all the time. And I wish I had maybe captured a bit more of them. Like, some of them were not for the public, of course. Some of the stuff we talked about was between us. But I have great material from the whole weekend. I will work on a vlog. It will have to take some time because I have so much material. And we're speaking Swedish, of course. And I want you guys to be able to understand. So I'm going to have to put the subtitles in there. But yeah, I do have a couple of like just random conversations between him and I that I will put out as standalone videos first. It'll also take a little time because I'm going to have to add the subtitles. Tedious little thing to have to do, sit and just add text everywhere and time it right. But I think YouTube has a built-in function to do that. So maybe I'll just do that. But also, I'm a little, worried about that, or worried about. I guess some people maybe wouldn't pick up on that and then be, oh, this is Swedish. I'll just go out without hitting the subtitle button. Yeah. But yeah, guys, what am I supposed to talk about? I don't understand. Do you like watching me when I don't know what to say? I'm just like, yeah, I'm here. Let's say, what am I going to do today then? Well, I guess my Greek teacher is away, so no Greek for me today. I have Greek Monday, Wednesday, Friday, otherwise with her in the mornings. I don't have any. Oh yeah, I do have client calls today. I guess I'm gonna have to take it. Oh, thanks for the like, by the way. Please ask me something too, though. Anything, guys. Do you understand that you can ask me literally anything, even something you might not care all that much about, because it will trigger me to go into some kind of rant. It's very helpful. I can't just make up the questions on my own, So anything, just ask me something. But yeah, I'm gonna have to take it chill with the training for at least. Well, today, probably tomorrow too, because I'm just destroyed. Like, we both, Opti and I, deloaded during the week. That's when you just take it a more chill. I did, like I said, I did a semi-deload in preparation for having to take a full deload this week. Maybe not the full one, but at the start of the week, I'm just, my thoracic back here is just, everything we did on Saturday, almost everything involved these muscles back here to some extent. And yeah, guys, it's not productive to do all the time train like that, but to take a weekend every now and then and just fucking smash it, it's cool. It's fun. It's fun, guys. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing, guys. I mean, I'm gonna have to end the stream if you guys don't say anything, because I can't come up with much more to say now. Yeah, yeah, guys. There's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm trying to look at my computer. Like, can I grasp? Are there any straws I can grasp at here? Sometimes I wonder, I have no idea if, I don't think people without, I don't know, the view count on the streams is always buggy because I've had it that it says 0 and then still people write in the chat, you know. But I'm curious if someone without a YouTube account, if they still show up in the viewer count, because if you don't have an account, you obviously can't write in the chat. Um, mm. Oh, yeah, guys. Yeah. I don't know, guys. What am I supposed to do? Can remind you. I guess it's probably mostly people on the other side of the sea who watch now. Most other people aren't awake. I would hope that people here aren't still awake at almost 5 a.m. But yeah, I got some new from Nordic Kings. Their capsule organs, and this one that's my favorite product now, the beef bone broth. Yeah, it's a powder. It's basically just like pulverized bones, you know, and I like that because it's one of the more difficult things to, you know, it's a little, you know, it's both hard to find the bones and then it's kind of a rigorous process to do the bone broth and stuff. So it's very easy to just get it already ground down like this. Have the link to Nordic Kings in the description, and if you use Theo, you know, with THEO 15, you get 15% off on all their products. So if by any chance, because I would, you know, I would probably not recommend Americans to buy this because you probably have a better option closer to you. Okay, Mr. Bombastics, thanks for setting a good example for the rest of the people watching. I see people dropping in. Can you please like and please ask more questions? We might have a stream going, guys, but you gotta help out. Please, guys. Help me help you by asking the questions. Like and ask the questions. Please, any question. Simple question. What do you think about push-ups? Are pull-ups a good exercise to build muscle? Blah, blah, blah. Anything like that. Australia. Yeah. Oh, of course. We had oh, hey, Jamie. You're here too. Nice. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Jamie. Okay. Jamie, you're good at this. Please ask me random questions so I have something, even if you might not be able to watch it all. It's very helpful. Okay. Mr. Bombastics. Hi, Theo. How do you meet like-minded fitness people? I find I meet a lot of people that don't care about my obsession with good food, training, movement, sun, meditation, etc. I'm in Australia, almost 1 p.m. now. Yeah, of course, people on the other side of the timeline or with time zones can see this too. But yeah, okay. So how to meet like-minded fitness people? Like I put out a video exactly about this on Friday, so go watch that. Unfortunately, at the start, the first few minutes, this one is like, you know, dangling. It's a little annoying noise, but if you stick with me, it gets better, and the information in it is still good, I think. But first of all, like, have you done anything actively to meet these like-minded people that you'd like to meet? Or do you just expect them to sort of appear out of nowhere? Because you can't chase, just as you can't chase a romantic relationship. Oh, I want the girl. Where is she? You know, because then you might, of course, you're going to exert like desperate energy that, well, especially women don't like, but no one that's like healed and secure within themselves, like to feel that someone is desperate for their attention or, you know. But if you find someone with that kind of approach, it's most likely not going to be the right person because you find a person when you're desperate instead of the person, right? So it's kind of the same with getting new friends, but it's that you can't chase it is not the same as that you can't take any steps to make it happen, right? It's again just because it's easier with a dating example. I'm gonna get to more friend stuff, but you know that I think you shouldn't chase a relationship. That's not the same as if you meet someone that you think, I think they're attractive, you know, they were nice enough. Maybe I'll ask them out on a date and see what happens. That's not chasing, but that's taking action towards what you want. But then you find out. You don't cling to it like, yeah, I met someone. It must be the person now because I decided that we went on a date. No, you're just taking a first step there to see. I'm going to explore further what this is, and then you're going to find out. So with the friends, like first of all, I don't know, Mr. Bombastics, how long you've been into this, because probably if people that started training and stuff earlier on in their life, probably they didn't do it all on their own, right? They were probably, they probably gained some friends, or had some, did it with some friends. More guys, please, and please ask more questions, please. Um, yeah, how I described it in that video is that when you start changing your lifestyle and you weren't around people that did these sort of things before, you might have a phase that's quite lonely, because at the start it's more about cutting people off, relationships that don't serve you. Um, that's what it was like for me. Like, I've been into this lifestyle now for 4 years plus, and I would say that the first 2 years were quite lonely in a sense. Like, not that I had no one to hang out with or anything, and I was also developing this great relationship with myself. So I was very happy spending a lot of time alone, a lot of the time, and I wasn't really like depressed lonely, but sometimes I felt kind of like, ah man, I wish I had someone to share this with. But then, you're gonna realize that there are other people exactly like you in this position, that they have gone through this, they have cut off other people, now they're sort of like, oh, where's my new people? So you had to, of course, first just become a better person like that. But then you gotta make an effort to make it happen. Like, even just striking, if you see someone in the gym that you think like that, I think that's a cool guy. I think we could be friends. It's not like you walk up and be like, you wanna be my friend? But you start with just striking up random conversations, right? And then, those kinds of people, a lot of people think you can't, no, you gotta stick to the friends you had from high school or whatever. You can't find new friends when you're an adult. But it's not true. Because a person like me, I love it. If someone approaches me and I like them, I can tell, yeah, this is a guy or girl, with the same sort of mindset and lifestyle like me. And if they ask to meet me, apart from whenever we run into each other, I would love that, just like you would love that. So it's a mutual thing. So you gotta start exploring things like that, and then social media is great. I mean, Optiholm, that I just went to visit, we know each other from social media originally, and this is a balance too with these things. Like, social media can be a terrible, crappy thing if you just sit and scroll. You sit and consume things, and you don't do anything productive with it. But if you use it to create good content that inspires and help people, and to connect with people. It's called social media, not anti-social media, right? Several of my friends I have, Sim, that I've had on the channel, it's originally from social media. My, mobility coach, but really my friend that I hired as a coach, we know each other from social media originally. I met someone else right before going to Optiholm from social media. I have a couple of guys that I met in the way that I said, that I just one guy that I saw in the gym, and I heard him talk to his friends sometimes, and I was like, yeah, this guy, he is out there, he has the controversial opinions. So once I just introduced myself, I was like, I see you here all the time, just want to say hi. We're friends, he lives close by, we go sauna sometimes, stuff like this. So do you see? You can't morning voice can't chase it, can't chase or force it, but you can take these steps. You have to seek contact, just as you would like maybe go on a date with someone that you see potential in. Then you're gonna find out if the person was for you or not. It's the same. Just strike up conversations with people, and eventually, you'll find some people. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have to practice this something in when I move to Greece, right? Because that's also when you don't have people close by to you. And yeah, you're welcome for the advice, Mr. Bombastics. And if you have any other question, then please go ahead. No, but a great thing too, using this coffee here in the morning. I can say that really quick. I don't, in the summers, I put up using the coffee and snooze now until later in the day. because then I can go out and do stuff in the sun and that to wake myself up. But when I'm up this early, what am I supposed to do? But the flip side, or what I do instead, is that I stop drinking coffee earlier in the day, maybe like at 11, 12, rather than like 1 or 2. And the snooze, I kind of front load it right now. I'm lowering my consumption, but I've noticed that I manage best when I use a few in a row in the morning. Then I can be away from it more later in the day. No, but one great thing with social media, and it's always, do you understand that the times we live in, they can be the most terrible times or the best times, depending on how you use everything we have access to now. Like this, just that you can communicate with people on the other side of the world if you don't find any, or not even, but further away from you. When you don't find, while you don't find the people close to you, you can have people on distance. I have some friends like this, right, that I talk on voice messages and stuff with, and that would be great for me when I go to Greece, that I have some friends like that. I can, even when I go to a new place where I don't know anyone really, I do know someone, but not as many as here, obviously, but then I will have my friends on distance that I can talk to like that. But it's a great option. Hey, Francisco. Hey, Big Game James. What's up, guys? Please ask me some questions. We might have a stream going, actually. I had to fight hard to start this stream. No, but it's great that you can have friends on distance, but it's not a complete replacement for actually meeting people, right? Can't just do it like that. So I will have to take steps in the gyms I'm gonna go to in Greece. I'm gonna have to strike up conversations. I'm actually learning the Greek language. I understand that they are quite good at the English there these days, but people always like it that you've made an effort to get to know their culture and language, right? But I'm gonna have to try to get to know people there, right? I can't expect people to just come to me, right? So quite a few people. Please like and ask your questions. Wow. This is good. Okay, what more do we have? Jamie says, in Malcolm Gladwell's book Outliers, he says that it takes 10,000 hours to master something. Maybe getting closer to those hours brings you more closer to confidence, like you know exactly what you want to attract because you become a master of your life. Very true. Very true. 10,000 hours, exactly how much is that if we, I guess, is that like 400 days? What is it? I'm quite good at math, but I'm too tired to do the math right now without the calculator. There. Yeah. Yeah, it's like 416 days of doing something. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Because in a sense, when your practice is holistic, it's just living your life, really, that's doing the thing, right? So, in a sense, I've done what I do for, I guess, like at least 30,000 hours, So yeah, it's very true. It's so cool, guys. Well, something I notice within myself and people that follow me and people that I coach. Just a second. This is the way I drink coffee, by the way. I take like shots of it instead of drinking a big cup. Like it is a big cup, but I just pour up to here, really. No, but I noticed that a lot of people, they want to be perfect. People don't like being bad and stuff. Please like the stream, guys. Please like. I see I have some more questions, but people hate not being perfect at the thing. They hate being bad at something. They wanna be good when they start at something. And I got news for you. It's impossible. You can do some preparation. You can do a little like studying of the theory of a thing, but you're gonna have to accept to be bad at something when you start. And you're going to have to accept that you'll never be perfect. And you can flip it. A lot of people hate not being perfect. And I can struggle with it in very specific situations still. But when you realize that that's great, how fucking boring would it be if you could become perfect, right? If you're just done. Like, I am done now. Now I just do the same thing for the rest of my life. No, you can keep leveling up. There's no upper limit. It's not like Diablo 2 or something when you can just become level 99. You can just keep going. And yeah, the more you do something, the better you become at it. You're never done, literally never done. It's very cool. Okay. Yeah, what's up, Francisco and Big Game James? And Mr. Bombastic said, yeah, that's it. I moved to Australia on my own 7 years ago. Might be similar to your move to Greece. Yeah, but the thing is, I'm now moving to Greece when I of course don't know how you were when you moved to Australia, but I'm such a more developed person now. So I just see myself faster getting to know people there now. Hey, Derek Dean. Hey, bud. Greetings from. Sorry, I take Francisco. He was first. Maybe talk about. But guys, if someone wants to support the stream with a super chat, I'd very much appreciate that. It's starting to happen more often here, and it's very good. Very good. It helps me be able to focus on the YouTube stuff more. Yeah, it helps me put out higher quality and quantity videos, so I'd appreciate that. But okay, Francisco, maybe talk about what I told you about my testosterone levels, or is it not on the subject on the video? I can bring it up. I can bring it up. I'll see if I can talk about something else in the meantime. Derek says, "Hey bud, greetings from Canada. Dreamt last night I was at your house and we was chatting about weight loss and body recomp. I believe I have been under-eating and doing too much exercise for quite some time, causing me to not drop any body fat. Any ideas to get the weight to come off again?" Yeah, the funny thing is, it's, because we get spammed by this. I'm going to try to multitask and take Francisco's message out here too. But we've been spammed with this notion that calories in, calories out is all that matters. But it's like calories in, calories out. What that looks like, it changes so much depending on what you do, what kinds of calories you eat, the state you're in when you're eating. So it's so much more complex. And that's why guys like Greg Doucette sucks. His advice will work initially for a lot of people, but then it's not going to work, and they're probably going to run into health issues, because that guy completely confuses like fitness, bodybuilding basically, with health. But yeah, what happens when you train too much and eat too little, you stress your body out. Your body is gonna think like, we're in some kind of survival setting. We have to move all that much, and we don't get to eat enough, and it's gonna do everything it can to shut you down. Of course, you burn energy just as you exercise and that, but otherwise, it's gonna. I would not be surprised, Dean, if you have quite low energy. Okay, yeah, I found Francisco's message for later. So the thing is, what I do with people like that I've had clients that we've done some kind of fasting routine. Like I had a woman, for instance, we did, or I still have her actually, but we did a weekly 48-hour fast. And it worked well. She was dropping weight at the start, but then at a point, I don't remember exactly after how long, but at the point, it was she didn't change anything about the way she ate and trained. But at a point, the weight she lost from the fast, she started just gaining back, because the body, after a time, the body adjusts. Like, okay, apparently, because the body doesn't always have the same goal for you as you have, right? So what we did the exact same thing. Just we pulled out the fast. And now she started losing more weight when she didn't do the 48-hour fast. And intuitively, it doesn't make sense. Like, so she was eating more now and she was losing weight. But yes, because she was now fueling her body more so that it was able to use more and didn't feel like it was in such a harsh deficit, under so much pressure anymore. So, and I had one guy that on his own initiative just way underate, and ate way less than I suggested that he did. And I tried to hint at him, because I'm the coach. I'm not, I don't do the thing for the person, right? Often the client will do as I say, hopefully, because I know what I'm doing, but I have to give them some room to not. I'm not like a sergeant or anything, right? They're not my slave or anything. So when a person has a certain idea in their mind, I can't always convince them to do the thing. So I try to, I let him do that for a bit. I try to drop little hints like, you're not eating that much, and not so much is happening with the weight, right? Then finally, he listened to me and ate more, and then he started losing weight, right? So what I will do with people, it's what I do with myself in a sense. It's just that I manage it too well, so that I've never really run into this problem. But you know, when I've been bulking, I'm never gonna gig about the way I did earlier this year. By the way, I'm bulking now, but much. It's just not necessary, I realize. But you know, when you eat in a surplus and you train hard and move a lot, you know, the body, you're in a situation of abundance, and that's when the body can actually not just repair stuff, it can actually grow, become stronger. But then I've poured so much oil on my metabolic flame that when I go into a cutting routine, you know, I have some excess body fat now, but also my body is just running hot. So then I will just lose much more weight from the fast than I would have if I hadn't had this like feeding time, building time before, right? So, Dean, I know I've talked quite a bit, but what I come to is before you do something more aggressive again, maybe fasting or whatever you did, take a time and try to take some time and try to just eat around your maintenance, you know, good healthy food, and train well and sleep well. Then you're gonna do this. You don't necessarily have to bulk, you know, but just eat more so that you feed your body. Pour oil on the metabolic flame for a while. Then you go back into some kind of deficit. Then you're gonna burn more, and then you know, you try, you're gonna notice maybe at some point, okay, it slowed down again, and then you repeat, you take a little feed. You know, that's why you do refeeds during a cut. You build a metabolism up again so that it's more effective. Okay, Jamie Lynn hit me with a $2 super chat. Time for me to go to sleep. Thanks for going live. Well, thank you for the little super chat. You know, I shouldn't say little, like any super chat I'm appreciative of. So thanks a lot, Jamie, and we'll speak soon. Okay, let's see here. Oh yeah, I was gonna go to Francisco Leon's thing here. Here. Yeah, okay, so he wrote me a message on Instagram where he said, bro, just want to share, the sun is truly awesome. I got my testosterone results yesterday and I was amazed. The doctor told me that the normal levels, the thing is here, I don't know in what, it's no idea. I feel like it's no point in me saying these numbers because there are different, you know, in Sweden, for instance, we measure it in nanomoles per liter. And in the States, it's nanograms per deciliter. I know it's even different in Canada. This guy is from South America, Ecuador, right? So, you know, basically, but he is like triple almost what is considered a normal levels during to whatever standard this is. So, yeah, the doctor told me that the normal levels were blah, blah, and I had the triple, that basically. Must be the sun in all my body, including the testicles. Probably lots of other things like genes, the gym, kind of like food. But anyway, I'm happy. Thanks for your videos and inspiration. And then he said, if you want to share this or comment on our video, please do. So yeah, you see, that's a funny thing. You know, all these guys, lots of guys think of it the wrong way with the testosterone. If they have low testosterone, you know, it's like, oh, I can't build muscle because I have low testosterone, so I need to get high testosterone first before I start building muscle. And then they start thinking of stuff like TRT, taking it exogenously, right? But the thing is, of course, there is a genetic component to the total, like testosterone potential or whatever. But all guys that aren't like extreme outliers with some extremely unusual condition, just by doing the basics, guys, eating the good foods, you know, animal fat and protein, you know, honey, fruit, liver, make sure to get all your micronutrients. You get sun on as much of your skin as possible without burning, of course. You get the good sleep and you hit the weights. You're gonna raise the testosterone because, you know, people think of it like, oh, I can't build muscle because I don't have testosterone. But if you just go train, hit the gym, even when your testosterone isn't great yet, well, what does lifting weights do? It raises your testosterone. So you think of it the opposite way a lot of the time. I have to sort my testosterone out before I build muscle. It's like, no, I start building muscle and doing the things I'm supposed to do, eating well, sleeping well, getting the sunlight, and training, and you're going to raise your testosterone, right? Like, I never tested my testosterone earlier before I did all of this, but I can just, because you get to know your body. I know what high T feels like. I know what high dopamine feels like. And just from the way I was feeling back then, and how bad my libido and stuff was functioning, I know I had terrible testosterone, and I did all the shit to ruin it too. Like, poor sleep, staying up way too late all the time, drinking very often, eating junk food. I guess in the summers I did actually get quite a bit of sunlight, but not a good regimen overall. And now, when I tested my testosterone the last time, it was also extremely high. Like, I was an extreme outlier. It was a little warning sign in my blood work that it was too high. But they put the cut. I was just above the reference range. But they put it a little low. Like, it's almost impossible naturally to have too high testosterone so that it's dangerous to you. But you see that this is just, I once had terrible testosterone. I just don't know the exact number. And now it's just amazing. It's just from living the lifestyle, guys. Just living the lifestyle. Okay. More likes, more people, more likes. Please ask some more questions. Okay, so you see, Randy, no last name. If I became perfect at stock trading, I'd be quite happy. Yeah, but it's a typical, you become better and better. I know, because my dad works with stock trading, actually. That's what he does for a living. I'm just terrible at understanding the thing. It's so boring to me. I tried so many times. But I also have a good friend. One of the guys, by the way, on the thing we were talking about earlier that I got to know in the gym, it's also what he does. And he, just as with everything, really, like, guys, it's like when I played poker, it's very similar in the sense that, there's going to be up and down swings, with the stock market or with variance in the case of poker, right? And so what you learn to do is maximize the upswings, do the best of them, and minimize the downswings. But there will always be ups and downswings, right? But you just make sure your peaks get bigger and bigger, and the lows get smaller and smaller. So you're not going to be perfect at the stock trading ever. You just become better and better. Yeah, and isn't that amazing? You always have room for becoming better. You wouldn't enjoy it, Randy, if you could just take for granted that, yeah, now I'm perfect. I don't even have to think about it. I just do the thing. I think, well, how would that? You wouldn't get fulfilled. You're not feeling like you're growing and getting developed, right? So you should actually be happy that you can't be perfect. If someone else wants to support the stream with a super chat, I very much appreciate it. I want to remind you of that. You can also become a Patreon. Support me with as little as $1 per month. I'd of course appreciate it if you went for a higher tier. But yeah, just want to remind you guys. Big Game James. Hey Theo, what brand of liver jerky do you eat? I can't find any that isn't a dog treat. When in Greece, eat lots of lamb, super high in branch chain amino acid. Yeah, well, I think I'm not going to have any choice. I mean, they have beef too, but I'm going to have to eat some lamb there. And I do here sometimes too. On Gotland, actually, where I went this summer, it's kind of, the sheep is actually their, like, what do you say, not national symbol, but for the island, that landscape. We call it landscapes. We have like not really like states, because it isn't necessarily different laws, but the country is divided into these. They have lots of lamb there. But my brand of liver jerky, me and my friend have developed this, so the brand is going to be called Nordic Jerky. He is going to start the company first, and we're doing it together, right? So actually, I'll go fetch some. You give me a second. See, it's very much in the develop. Maybe I should put these on. It's very much in development, right? But it's actually quite good. I'm surprised how good it is so early on. Right now, we've done like 3 different ones. I don't remember all, because he is the cook, so I don't remember everything that went into them. But I know the main thing with one of them was garlic. Main seasoning on one was paprika and cayenne pepper. And then one when we tried both I think I like the garlic one better. Basically, the garlic one tastes better initially, and the paprika cayenne thing, the kind of the aftertaste was better. So it's my own brand or our brand, Nordic Jerky. And but you know, if it isn't a dog treat, to be honest, I know some people that as long as there isn't a bunch of added shit in there, if it's actually just liver, doesn't matter that it says dog treat on it. You know, that's just a made up label. You know, who decided that it's for dogs? If it's liver, it's liver. But if it is a bunch of crap additives, of course, stay away from it. But yeah, it's my own brand, Nordic Jerky. Francisco Leon. Also, I forgot to tell you that probably the sun's quality here is much better since we are in Ecuador, the center of the world. At least that's what the experts say. Well, better, you have greater access to it, really. But you know, the thing is, even in Greece, that it's also closer to the equator, right? You can't. You're gonna have to hide a bit more from the sun. Don't use sunscreen though. That's the toxic shit that will actually give you cancer. You could get cancer from getting burned, though, but it's just that the way to prevent that is not putting toxic chemicals on your skin. It's by, you know, staying in the shade when you have to or using clothing to cover up. But it's basically the more sun you can handle without getting burnt, the better. But you see, that's the good thing for me in Sweden here. Like, of course, in the winter, we barely have sun. And to some extent, of course, the population here has, with evolution, adapted to that. But in the summer, you know, I don't have to worry about it. I can be out the whole day, even if it's like the hottest day. I can be out the whole day without any sunscreen, without being worried about getting burned, you know. So that depends on what you mean. It's stronger there. And I guess if you built it up, if you progressively overloaded it enough so that you're just super tolerant to the sun, then maybe we can say that it's better. But you see, that's the flip side of having more stronger sun and more of the time. The you know, downside to that would be it's easier to get burnt, right? And yeah, Derek just thanks for the advice and did a little like this. Jamie Lynn catches up on the rest later. Drag 700, hello and welcome. I've never seen you before. Nice avatar with a little screaming Pepe there. Or is it a Groiper? I don't know. Hey Theo, if one were to bulk with an 800 calorie surplus per day and do a full day fast, eat nothing on the last day of the week before repeating, would you think this would be a good idea? No, I don't. You know, if you bulk, just embrace the bulk. This sounds like, let's see, or would eating 500 calories surplus every day and no fast be better for more consistent muscle protein synthesis? Yeah, but it's not only that. It's like, when you think of a I try to think a bit. I'm not sure that it's this way. Maybe you want to fast for just the benefits, other benefits of the fast. But I tried to, you know, when I found the fasting, I thought I had found a way to hack it. You know, that I tried alternate day fasting, for instance. I trade full body and I just slam it. I eat like 5,000 calories on that day, and then I just fast the next day. You know, I'm tricky. I go into the giga surplus and just build so much muscle from this, and then I fast on the other day. And I'll say, I think if you're a complete beginner to this and you have a bunch of body fat to spare, I think that would still work. But the thing is, you can't just switch on and off a catabolic and anabolic button like that. You know, that, oh, I just eat a lot today when I train, now I build muscle, and tomorrow I fast and I cut off the fat. You know, you have to put, your body will try to pick up on what kind of situation are we in, not just right now, but long term, right? So even if you're eating in a surplus, if you just pull food out completely on a day, the body is not necessarily going to determine. I'm not going to say that it's impossible for you to build muscle, but the body is not necessarily going to determine that, oh, we are in a situation of abundance, we can build muscle. Because even if you eat more on some days, if you just eat nothing on one day, you know, you see, it could work. But you see, I would still stick to a smaller surplus and do that more consistently. This is what I do myself, right? I don't do anything. I do sort of intermittent fasting now, but no longer fast for a few months when I try to gain strength and muscle. And then I will have a period when I do more fasts more frequently. So I would do it like, fasting is a great tool, but you don't have to do it all the time. So have your bulk for a few months with a 500 calorie surplus. Then you do some kind of maintenance or cutting routine when you implement the fast again. It's going to be superior for the gains. And someone sent a super chat. Big Game James, maybe? Yes. Uh, well, can I be your US distributor for Nordic Jerky? That's very interesting that you would say. Interesting. But I just, I can't, because I do it with my friend, so I'm going to have to talk with him. I'm just like, why would you want to distribute my jerky? Don't you think it would be easier for you to just do it with something there? I mean, of course, I'm happy that someone reaches out and want to cooperate like that. I'm just not sure, for your sake, to be honest, that it's the best thing. But let's stay in touch. You can always email me or DM me on Instagram and talk more about it. And I'll talk to my friend. I'll say that you mentioned this, and we'll talk more about it. But I appreciate the super chat, the support, of course. And yeah, we'll talk more about it later. Francisco Leon, since the test was done in like a government hospital, they didn't tell me like all the details, but I'll see the doctor soon, so I will ask what is the measure, like 592 of what. But because Drag says it's nanograms per deciliter, Francisco, but I don't think so, because the normal range he said was like 160 to 190, and that's not the normal range. That's like not good, So I would guess it is a slightly different way. It's different in different places. Here, my number I converted it. It's 894 nanograms per deciliter, but the way we measure it, it's way different. It's 31 nanomoles per liter. So, but I know there's many. I've heard it before. I haven't watched More Plates, More Dates in a while, but I know he said it's many different ways of doing this. So, not sure that it's same. Yeah, I would say, yeah, and they kind of sorted it out a bit then. Then Drag says, because they talked a bit more about it, yeah, I personally wouldn't listen to bookworm doctors. If you feel great and know you don't have some kind of real illness like cancer, you should just listen to your body, 100%. It's so typical these days, right? Like you come to the doctor, how are you feeling? I'm feeling great, I'm healthy, I sleep well, I have high energy, my gut works well, I have zero issues, blah, blah. No, but the number here, the cholesterol is bad. It's bad. So what have you done? I've started eating more meat. Oh, you got to cut that out. You got to cut it out. The number on the paper is too high. It's like, but I'm feeling great. What is the problem, And then, of course, there's a slight balance to that. Like everything, we can't always just notice and feel exactly, the right kind of doctor, the smart doctor that combines the bookworm stuff with just common sense and understands this with talking to someone about their experience. That would be the best kind. But most of the time, 100%, a body that works well, ideally, it's when we get corrupted, traumatized, I say, like traumatized, on different levels, even physically. When the body just doesn't function the way it's supposed to, then you can't trust all the signals. But the better your body works, the more you can just listen to it. Like, do I feel good? Yes. Then probably stuff is good. Yeah. And he went on. Cole Robinson, someone Theo knows pretty well, said that he had 3 times the cholesterol the doctor said was normal, but all the other blood markers and health markers were amazing. Yeah, I also, it was some time, maybe I should do new blood work, but I can actually, yeah, that's nice. I could pay it with business money, no tax, because I'll use it for a video. So it's a business expense, cool. But yeah, I also, one of my lipids, were higher. I don't remember which one. And the testosterone was too high. But some kind of more alternative, smart doctor that follows the channel, checks in every now and then. I sent him my blood work, and the feedback he gave me was that it was great. I could actually go look it up and see what he said, maybe. And Drag went on. He has great test and looks amazing, about Cole Robinson. There is a lot of outdated info in the medical books, but if you say that, people will be too arrogant and say, where's your doctor's degree? Yeah, exactly. Do you know how often I get people that when I just talk about things, especially on my Instagram story, as if they're just a matter of fact, they're just true. But how do you know this? Because the book says that, blah, 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 blah. And I know because I see it with my own fucking eyes. Like, how dumb are you? Do you need an authority always to tell you what the truth is? Can you draw any conclusions on your own, you know? So yeah, get that all the time. Like I remember when I put out a post about doing a dry fast to, you know, now I'm actually trying to cut down my stimulant consumption. But back in the day, I just took these, you know, fasts, and I'm gonna do that again, but I'm not actually trying to lower it afterwards. But what I did then was, you know, the stimulant use went up and up, and then I take this fast, and I just know naturally after the 3-day fast that I'm going to use it less. But I never had any really plan to keep it lower, which I do now. But anyway, when I put out a post about, yeah, I'm going to do a 3-day dry fast to curb the stimulant addiction, you know, and I get this like, oh, what study do you base this off of? The kind of question. I'm like, I base it on the studies I've done, dry fasting, and doing this before with this exact fucking result, bro. You know, like, if I have experienced this, doing this, that if I fast, I take everything away, it kind of takes the focus away from the stimulants and also speeds up the, you know, resynthesization of dopamine receptors and just cleaning out the fucking stimulants out of my system. It's my experience that I crave it less and need it less, you know. And then he went something like, oh, I guess sometimes, you know, going on your own experience, blah, blah. Like, sometimes going on your own experience. Do you not trust your own experience, bro? If you do something and you can clearly see what happens, you don't believe it because the paper, the book says something else. It's like people have outsourced their thinking to. That's why people do so much dumb shit, because they just do what they're told, not what they can see with their own eyes. You know, they do what they hear, not what they see. Yeah, he went on to rant more, right? Drag 700. Yeah, but it's fine. Rant. I like it when you guys contribute in the chat. I say this all the time. Don't be a little consumer. Just like, I understand that everyone all the time isn't chatting, but in general, you have the opportunity to be a producer. You can create stuff together with me. That's what you're doing when you're talking in the chat. Like all the people that just sit and watch, you know, and don't interact, or don't, you know, if you don't interact but you take my advice to heart and do stuff, that's one thing. I would like it if you tell me. I talked about this with Opti Holm this weekend, you know. So many people that follow you. Really, I'm not doing this to be like, look at me, I'm Theo, I'm ripped, guys. Look how good I am at this with training. Look at me, I'm your superhero figure to follow. Because that's how some people treat you. You know, they tell me that I inspire them, and I go, okay, so what have you done that I do now? Because you look fat, bro, and it's like nothing. And it's like, okay, but I have zero. I don't give a shit that I inspire you if you don't do anything, you know. It's like I have zero interest in just being some kind of superhero figure for someone. I can be a role model that you take after. That's great, you know. But it's the same. Just consuming the content, just watching. You know, it's getting addicted to the motivational videos. Like sit and watch the video, like, oh, I'm so motivated. Next video, oh, I'm so motivated. Like, fucking do something. So many people are so passive in their life. They just sit and watch stuff happen. Their life is watching other people live their life, you know. So what I'm saying, Drag, is don't stop ranting. It's great. He said, it's the same doctors that will basically drug deal you pills and whatnot and tell you to stop eating meat and eat more vegetables because of small problems that can easily be treated with what Theo is saying, fasting, carnivore, etc. Yeah, exactly. And then what's really crazy about all this is that so many people globally are dying because of misinformation. Yeah, that's the thing, Theo. Everyone wants to blindly trust authority, and for what? What reason is there to blindly trust authority? It's so mind-boggling to me. It's what it is, man. You know, guys, we're reached an hour. I see you're quite a few still around. You can like the stream if you haven't, but you can also ask some question. I have time. It's in the morning here. In the morning is when, you know, super early for me like this is when I can control my time a bit before client calls start, and that's why I can keep going if you ask some more questions, talk some more. But otherwise, I'm gonna have to end it. But I'll answer this. Why people so blindly trust authorities is because they're grown-up children. Because as a child, you need an authority figure. You need your mom and dad to set an example for you, show you how things are, and answer your questions and tell you how the world works, right? It's just that most of us have not learned to become adults. Most of our parents failed in teaching us how to be adults and become the authority for our children later on. So that's the thing. Most people are just grown up children. They don't know what to fucking do. They don't trust that they can conclude what they're supposed to do on their own. So they just look to the what does the science say? What do the experts say? What does the law say? What do the politicians say? What does the media say? You know, they're not able to think for their own and make decisions on their own because they are like children, literally. Yeah, you notice it. The more mature you become yourself, the more you just see it. How all the people, because people also think they have a very shallow view on what is being an adult. It's like having a job that you go to 9 to 5 and paying the bills and having an apartment. You know, these are things that make you an adult. And it's like, no, those are very shallow things that are part of being an adult. But actually being an adult is being your own fucking person, being able to take care of yourself and the people around you and make decisions for your own. You are supposed to know what's best for you, not always supposed to look to the authority figure, right? Okay, Kristin and George, new person too that I haven't seen before. Thanks for showing up. You have quite a few people. Please keep the questions coming, guys. I'll keep. I could go for another hour, but it's up to you guys. And I would really much appreciate it if you supported me with a super chat. Okay, more stuff here. Very good. But please keep it coming, guys. So thanks, Christine, for showing yourself. And I'm glad you love the content and my perspective. And Rooney86, also someone new. Hello. Good to see you. I'm scared of getting loose skin on my stomach if I start alternate day fasting. Is autophagy really tightening the skin? I'm only 80 kg but have a big belly and love handles. Look, don't even care about that. Is it better to just be fat and no loose skin? But you're 80 kilos. That's not that much. You're not going to be able to be perfect. You know, my belly here. You know, I could, if I try to be a perfectionist, I could wish that even when I get ripped, I'm not super ripped right now, you know, but even when I get ripped, I have some loose skin, not that kind of hangs, but, you know, it would still be a little jiggly around there. And I can be a perfectionist and be like, oh, I wish it was super tight like that, you know, but it's not going to be. But what am I supposed, is it better that I'm just fat, right? So most likely, you're not going to get any loose skin that's bothersome. But even if you get a little bit, that's just better than being fat. Like both aesthetically, but also more importantly for your health, you know. So don't even care about that. I'm scared. You know, this is the way I talk. I understand, you know, we're all scared before we do things, you know. But is autophagy like don't even care about this. Just do the thing, you know, and find out on your own what happens. This is the thing. People want the answers. They want their fear to be gone before they try doing the thing, but you're not gonna know. I can say that, yeah, autophagy can remove some excess skin. That's actually when you fast and the body needs protein. It tries to protect the muscles, right? Because, you know, the muscles are the one force we have to go get more food when we don't get anything from the outside. So as much as possible, you know, the body will eat from the own body fat after it depletes the glycogen stores. But then we have some other tissue with protein, and all of us have some excess skin. So yes, you can lose some excess skin and tighten up the belly with autophagy. But look, you're still scared now, even when I told you, right? So, and I can't give you a promise, even if I promise, you know, I can't prove it to you in any way that you're gonna get tighter skin, right? So you just, if you wanna get over this fear, or you're gonna wanna find out what actually happens, like now you have some ideas, like, yeah, the autophagy could tighten up the skin, but you're not gonna know until you do it, right? So, That's my message for you with that. Drag 700. The less you know, the more you think you know. Yeah. Arrogance, like not willing to learn from someone younger, and you will keep these people stuck in their ways. Yeah, and that's the thing with the parents too, right? It's of course the parent-child dynamic too, but for some older people in general, like who does this youngling think he is? I am old. I've been alive for more days than this person, so I know better. No, no, no. I met 50, 60-year-olds that are like kids. I met 20-year-olds that I feel are equally as mature as me. So, age that you're older just means that you had more time to become mature. It's more likely that you're mature. Doesn't say anything about how mature you actually are. But yeah, the less you know, the more you think you know, the Dunning-Kruger thing. And the more you know, the more you understand that you know almost nothing, really. The only thing I know is that I know nothing, and that's the source of my wisdom, kind of thing. And yeah, Drag also says, Rooney, fasting is the best thing to do for loose skin, especially dry fasting, but you don't have to do it as it's pretty extreme. Yeah, that would be the thing too, that if you lose the weight with fasting, you have a bit of loose skin, but if you keep doing some kind of fasting routine, maybe not even to lose weight, maybe you eat maintenance, overall, that it evens out. But with autophagy, you could keep tightening up the skin. But again, I wouldn't even worry about it, because it's again this notion of wanting to be perfect. I'm afraid of doing it because I'm afraid I won't get the perfect result I'm looking for. Well, you're never gonna get that. Yeah, but you can always come closer and closer to that. So maybe if you do more fasting, it's going to tighten up more. Maybe you're always going to see a little bit of loose skin. But yeah, but it's also, you compare, when we think of loose skin, and normal looking bodies have, even if you never were really overweight, we have a bit. Even, I told you, when I'm the most ripped I've been, if I do, this on my belly, there will be a little skin juggling there. And I can compare it to photoshopped or just perfect Instagram pictures, and be like, oh, I want that, but it's fake. We can't be perfect. Focus on becoming the best you that you can be. And the best you that you can be probably doesn't weigh 80 kilos, right? I'm guessing you're a woman. And yeah, you said, good point. I just need, Rooney again, good point. I just need to jump into it head first. Thanks to you. Yeah, well, you're welcome. And I'm glad you seem to get it. Because you're probably still scared of it. A good example, before I get to some other things here. Unconventional living, what are your thoughts on job? Come on, elaborate a bit more than that on job. No, but I take a good example that I've said before about, losing muscle when fasting. It's kind of a natural fear to have, especially that we get so, if we follow fitness content, it's always like, oh, this is what you need to do to prevent muscle loss. Don't do this or else you lose muscle, la, 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 la. As if it's something that happens so easily. But it's hard-gained tissue, hard-earned tissue. The body is going to want to hold on to the muscle. It's not going to just go away because you do a little, whatever, It's going to have to be prolonged, bad thing you're doing to lose muscle. But anyway, it's natural. If you built muscle, never fasting, and then you consider fasting, it's natural to have a fear of losing muscle. And I remember getting into the fasting and watching Cole Robinson, and I see he's a jacked ass dude. He does extreme fasting, and he doesn't seem to have lost any muscle, right? So I believe him when he says that, but I have not had the experience for myself. So I'm still, when I do the fast at the start, I'm afraid of losing muscle. Then I do my first 5-day fast like I did. I don't really see that I lose any muscle. So I'm like, good. But I'm still, when I keep doing more fast, I haven't fully overcome it yet. But the more I fast and the more times I get to see that, look, I didn't really lose muscle. Now I have zero fear of it anymore, right? So it's always the thing. People so often want to overcome their fears before facing them. But even when you get told all the things you could possibly be told to be calmed down, you're going to be afraid until you have the experience for yourself. The only true knowledge is from experience. Everything else is theory and ideas that you can trust a lot, but you don't truly know until you tried it for yourself. Greg 700. Hey Theo, are you a spiritual person by chance? don't have to answer. Of course, why would I not answer? I answer basically anything, you know. There are very few things that I wouldn't answer. Like if it's way, way, way too personal and like about other people or something. But you know, I'm a spiritual person. I believe in God. I like to say God. It's kind of symbolic for me because, you know, it's the same thing as saying the universe, a higher power, nature, you know. I believe in God, I say, because I used to be such a hardcore atheist. And so it's kind of a, like, you know, fuck you to my old self. Because my old self got very, very provoked by someone talking about God because I did not understand it then. I was then, you know, oh, you believe in this fairy tale you read in a book, there's this big man up in the clouds, that blah, 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 which is, of course, isn't. But yeah, I do. I believe the universe is sentient, which isn't necessarily the same as that it is like a conscious entity that are sitting and thinking, oh, let's do this with the universe, you know. But I think all of us are part of the divine. You know, our separate consciousnesses are part of a big collective consciousness that is the universe, you know. And it's kind of hard to, you know, put into words because in the end, the fundamental truth of everything, it's again like being perfect. We'll never get full access to the fundamental truth, but the more you go through in your life and the more you grow, the more you just see the pattern and understand there's something to all of this, you know. So yeah, I am a spiritual person and I believe in God, I say, but we could really say I believe in the universe, I believe in a higher power, I believe in nature. If you have any more questions about that, please go ahead. And I see we have more people. Please like, if you want to support the stream with a super chat, I very much appreciate it. Please consider doing that. If you get anything out of what I say at all, I would be happy if you would like to give something back for the stuff that I give you. But I always keep giving, of course. Big Game James, kind of off topic. Though, do you drink glögg during the Christmas holidays? So glögg is like a Swedish, well, Christmas alcoholic, you know, beverage, but I wouldn't call it a beverage. It's like you make it hot, and it's like I guess it's a little bit stronger than wine. Basically, it's not like full-on hard liquor, but a little stronger than wine. You know, I could at some point have like one glögg, but you know, I don't drink much alcohol these days. Glögg has never been a favorite of mine. What I would do, so bubbel is like a slang for bubbles, it means, and it's like sparkling wine. And so we did there was a thing with glubbel, that you mix glögg and bubbel, so it's glubbel. And I really, when I drink, which I very, you know, you can summarize it that when I drink, or like, let's put it like this. I drink as much in a year as I used to do in one evening sometimes, basically, back in the day. So I don't really want to drink much, but when I do, I prefer hard liquor like vodka or whiskey. And I say I got a super chat from Randy, but I'm gonna get to it. Or bubble, like champagne or sparkling wine. Like never more than 2 units if it isn't something very special. Like when my cousin, who's like a sister to me, when she and her husband got married, I drank more, but that's still way less than I used to, like 5-6 units of alcohol maybe. So, you know, now I'm going to be in Greece when it's Christmas, so I'm not going to drink any glögg. I might have like one glögg at like some kind of Christmas get together if I was here, but nah, not really. Well, Randy, last name, he does this. He sends the super chat without any questions, and I would like to, you know, appreciate it extra much. But I have nothing to answer, so I can just really thank you. $20, that's a significant amount too. So very much appreciated, Randy, and I appreciate all your support before. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Because you don't have any questions. I linger on because I want to be able to, I try to come up with a way to express more gratitude, but I guess, yeah, just thanks, man. Okay, Rooney said, I'm a skinny fat man, but thanks, Elma. Okay, 80, okay, skinny fat. You're not super fat, but you're probably not very tall, and you don't have a whole lot of muscle. Something that's going to help you a lot, because you say skinny fat, something that's going to help you a lot with a loose skin is just get more muscle. Because think of it like this, even if you have body fat, the muscles are beneath. They're pushing out against your body fat and skin. So you're just going to get tighter from having more muscle. Even when I bulk, of course, especially on the belly and stuff, it's going to be a bunch of just blah, 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 blah. But some of my, like the shoulders and arms are still quite, firm and like that. So build muscle. And to be honest, man, a guy like you, I would recommend to not even do too much fasting to start with. Like in the skinny fat position, you're in a great position to build muscle and burn some fat. Like eating around your maintenance, good whole foods, training well and applying progressive overload, you're gonna be able, at least initially, to build muscle and burn fat. And then when you've built some muscle, if you still feel, I have some fat I want to lose, then you could focus more on cutting for a bit and doing some fasting. So that would be my advice to you. Christine and George says, laughing my ass off. I'm not sure at what. Rooney says, was 45 kilos when I was 18. Wow, you were a twig. You must be. 45 kilos. I think the last time I weighed 45 kilos, I was probably like 11 years old or something. No, probably younger even. Drags another. I also subscribe to your spiritual views, and a smiley. I take it that you know of manifestation too. You would have to elaborate, because manifesting is really just what you do when you do the right thing, working towards your goals, and you manifest them, you reach them in the end. So you'd have to elaborate. Maybe you do here below. They say psychedelics open your consciousness and senses to different dimensions, but who knows? Anyone who tried mushrooms, acid, DMT, etc. can perhaps vouch. Shrooms for me was pretty out there, like a chemical gateway. Well, what I think about those things, I hate that. I absolutely hate that, to say they open your senses to different dimensions, as if it was something exclusive to psychedelic drugs. Of course it's not. You can have spiritual or even psychedelic experiences without putting any drug in your system, because the drugs only enable something that's already there, right? It's not that you take in, here's an experience like that. They make something that your brain already has the potential to do happen. They just make them happen more directly. But you can have spiritual and psychedelic experiences without taking any drugs. To be honest, my panic attacks were like horrible psychedelic trips, but great in the end, because I had to face so many fears and overcome them because of it, right? So what I say about those things, all things, the balanced view, people tend to be like, no, it's illegal, it's bad, but alcohol is legal, so that's okay, But it's like any drug, if used in a productive way, could be good. The balance is just with most drugs that you shouldn't do it often at all. But if you do it with the right intention and with the right setup, it could be a helpful thing. So what I say about those things is like, yeah, mushrooms, for instance, could be, a good way to have a spiritual experience and reach some kind of a higher level of understanding. It could also be a way of having the exact opposite, triggering some kind of psychosis and that. And you don't need them. It's a tool that you could use, but you don't have to at all. So, they open it to different dimensions. I'm not saying that you're saying this, you say they say, but no, not really. It's just one way to these different dimensions in that way, or in that case. Just says, okay, yeah. Rooney, would you recommend drinking alcohol on training days or rest days? I would recommend not drinking it at all. What do you think? The less you drink, like it's not gonna matter if you do it on a training day or a rest day. Like it's gonna be bad either way. Like drink as little as possible. And Drag said, from my experience, I was able to build a lot of sizable muscle eating only 1,500 calories per day and fasting. But if I were to go back and do it again, I'd just do carnivore or alternate day fasting. Yeah, it was, I guess, on the followed up on what I was saying. Yeah. Randy, no last name. I did ayahuasca twice, lol. How was that? What was it? Did it benefit you, or did it just traumatize you into oblivion. You know, I read, I haven't done it in a long time, but on a Swedish forum that's, yeah, well, it's called Flashback, where people just talk about everything, really. But I used to read about people's drug experiences, and ayahuasca, it wasn't always a great experience. There's one that I come back to like once per year. It's like the funniest shit I ever read about some guy that took amphetamine, you know, with syringes with some guy for 10 days. They were awake for 10 days. And it's just the craziest shit, man. Like, because you get so, when you're awake for so many days, you know, they start hallucinating, and it's not from the actual amphetamine, it's because the brain is just destroyed at that point. You can tell that the guy that's writing this text is actually quite smart, but like his brain is just chopped into pieces, basically. Drag seminar. I will say, if you've been training for 3 or 4 years plus, I wouldn't do what I did. No, exactly. Like the less training experience or just progress you've made, the more aggressive you could be with a recomp routine. Then as you get more and more advanced, you're gonna have to try and focus more at like bulking or cutting at a time. Randy, no last name. I felt the higher power being, you say. Yeah, cool, man. But this is cool that this summer I definitely had this kind of spiritual, almost psychedelic experience that I was so close to the divine, you know. I'm in such a high state. Like, you know, you see the pattern of the universe so clearly like that. And I didn't need any drug to reach that state. Like, I could just see how everything fit in perfectly into everything. And my days just flowed perfectly. Even when something like that on the surface is like negative happens first. And like, I'm sure this will lead me to blah, blah. And then it always did, you know. But you can get a spiritual ego, may that be from a psychedelic experience or just your own experience like that. But you know, when you get almost too enlightened and you think you know everything, and you just, you know, I've said it before, I've never literally thought that I am God. But when you're so close to the divine, it's like, it's hard to differ from that, what you're experiencing and you know. But this time, I have soared too close to the sun. That's the thing with the light and darkness. You know, people think they want to be happy and feeling great all the time. You can't. And also, you can feel too good so that it burns you. You come too close to the sun and you get burned. This has happened twice before in my life, that I got too arrogant from all the spiritual growth I was experiencing, and I actually went too far. And, you know, had some problems in some relationships because I was too arrogant and ego. And this third time, I knew I was heading there, but I was so aware of it that when I almost went too far, I managed to catch myself just like that. Like just before it went too bad, right? I think I've learned more now. But you have to watch out. That's, you know, you can feel too bad, so you hate too much. And say, I'm a loser. I never get there. I don't get anything done, you know. And then your goal is to be stoic and remind yourself that you're just feeling bad and all that. It's not actually true, all these things you're thinking and feeling. But the flip side is true too. You can feel almost too good, and you have to remind yourself you're not God. You're not the fucking best person in the world. You're just lucky enough to be in touch with this and be able to see these things now. Okay. Drag 700. Do you have any experiences with meditation that may help me? I seem to not be getting much from mindfulness meditation. Could you talk about your meditative experiences? Sort of an ambiguous question, because I'm not really sure what I'm asking. I just want to learn more about meditation. But this is the thing, man. This is what I want people to do on the stream. You don't have to have it, because I'm good. I just need to be triggered into talking about the right thing. You don't even have to have a proper question. So yeah, I love to talk about meditation. I see kind of praying and meditation as sort of the same thing, or at least I do both at the same time. So meditation, there are different ways, of course, but what it is really getting to know yourself better. That inner voice that we think is us, that we can control sometimes. Of course, if I think now, I want to think about dogs. Dogs are nice. You know, I am. But in many ways, when I'm not thinking actively about what I'm thinking, and it's just the voice going there on its own, it's not actually me. It's like conditioning from from my environment, like from my upbringing mainly, but other stuff, people and things around me, the media, everything, you know. And so when you meditate, your goal is to watch these thoughts and get to what do these come from? Are these actually true? What things that I hear in my head are true or not? Why am I thinking this? What does this come from? And you sort of watch it, and you learn to differ from your consciousness. The you, actually you, is the person seeing all of this happening. Like, and I mean seeing, like experiencing, like your body, physical feelings, emotions, your thoughts. You're just the person experiencing all of that. So your goal in the meditation, you just get more and more volume in just observing your experience, and this will make you much better when you, because we have like scripts, that we've gotten from in our nervous system, from the way we've lived our life and what has happened to us and around us. And so the more you meditate and do these things, there's notifications, you're going to be able to catch yourself sooner when you go into one of these old patterns. Be like, no, now I'm there again. You know, like for me, it's with, to be honest, with anxiety mostly, and around certain relationships that are close, you know. And I have patterns that I go into when I get like triggered there, right? And the more I've done this meditation, the more I'm able to spot myself and be like, okay, maybe I can't always get over that feeling and those thoughts immediately, but I can have these constant reminders. Remember, this is just what you always do. Things are cool, really. This is from your childhood. This is from your wounds, from your parents. Remember that, you know. So that's what I think is the goal with meditation. Then, a lot of the time, I take the opportunity to actually pray, ask the universe or God or whatever you want to say for the things I want, and pray for people around my life. Because I think it's kind of the, you know, I think we can make things happen by just, you know, putting effort into wanting them to happen, but it has to come from the right intention. You know, what a lot of people do when they pray is kind of like, oh God, please make me win the lottery. Oh God, please give me these things that I want, and then I'll be good. Then I'll start believing in you, and then I'll do the right thing. But the way I pray is I will ask, well, I will pray for people, just wish people that I know well, and I will pray for things that I want for myself. I will pray for clarity if I'm like scared and feeling bad. I pray for peace and clarity, and I always promise that I do my best. But you know, if you could do this thing for me, please God or universe, if I can get this, I'll be able to deliver even more in doing the right thing. I don't expect it. I don't take it for granted. I'm grateful for all the things I've gotten. I will still do the right thing the best I can, but it would help me so much if I could get this. And I find that many times when I do this, I do get it. So I just, I talk about this because my practice with meditation and prayer kind of go together. I start with just kind of watching my thoughts for a bit, and emotions and whole experience, you know, so that I get some distance from that. And then I actually ask the universe for, you know, the things that I would want and I want to see. And you went on after that. So you're saying that drag 700 again. So you're saying that the voice in our head is a symptom of us and not actually us, because we're just awareness. Exactly. I understand this, but I don't understand how people say they get spiritual insights and downloads from spirit or source or God or wherever you want to call it. Well, in this regard, what we're talking about now, it is that if you're like, why am I feeling this way? Oh, you know, if you are able to watch it and maybe sort of figure out where it comes from, that there is getting, like many times, for instance, I've realized that, this is like my mother talking, really. These are the things I was told by my mother growing up. It's not really from me. And then if it was an uncomfortable feeling I have, it's I get sort of, you know, it lifts off of me a little bit, because I was able to, like you say, download some information about it. I was able to gain some clarity and not just be in this emotion or thought, but actually be like, here it is, and that's where it comes from, you know. So that's what I would say about that. All right, guys. I think we've just hit 1.5 hours, and there's nothing more in the chat right now, so I think it's a good time to end it. Thank you so much, guys, for contributing. I understand too that it's a smaller channel, so it's it just takes a little time before people come in and we actually get some back and forth going with the chat. But it's always difficult at the starts when I don't really have anything to go off of. So, but I very much appreciate what you brought. Especially Drag 700 here, very interesting things. Randy, no last name with a super chat, of course. Jamie too, and all the other guys that asked the questions. Very much appreciated. And Drag said, Arietta, thanks, it helped. I'm happy it helped. Happy it helped. And love to see you more around the channel. Please, guys, comment on the videos too. And consider becoming a Patreon, supporting me. If you get anything out of what I do at all, I'd very much appreciate it if you gave something back. I'll always keep doing this, of course, either way, but I'll be able to do it more and higher quality if you support back. But I thank you for this time, guys. Maybe this is today's video. Maybe I can manage to get something out from my weekend with OptiHome here. We'll see. But anyway, thank you for today, guys. Please comment on the stream when it's a video right after, if you just update the browser, to help more people see it later. And yeah, guys, thank you for today. Peace.